Hello guys, I am so excited that you're joining me today. Today I want to talk specifically about motivation. The reality is we are all called here to do something important. We have big visions, big hopes, big dreams, big desires and aspirations for our life. But sometimes it's hard to see that vision all the way through. Whether it's fear, whether it's overwhelm, whether it's anxiety, whether it's not knowing where to get started, whether it's questioning if you actually heard God right. The reality is your vision is yours. And I talk a little bit about this in my video on the law of compensation, which basically states that you will be compensated in direct proportion to what you do, your ability to do it, and the inability to replace you. Basically, to sum that up, it's saying that you get rewarded simply for being you. But a lot of times we run from what we're called to do because it requires a lot, right? It requires sacrifice or discipline or shifts or changes, and that can become overwhelming for a lot of people. And so today I want to share a technique that I have used that has totally changed the motivation that I have when showing up for what I'm working on. So typically when you set out to accomplish a new goal, you're like pumped up, you're excited, you're motivated, you're ready to tackle it all, right? But then over time, whether a few hours, whether a few days, whether a few weeks, whether a few months, the motivation starts to kind of fall off. And before you know it, you don't get up anymore at 5 a.m. to work out, or before you know it, you've stopped eating healthy, or before you know it, you're not writing consistently, or whatever it may be. And the reason being is because motivation is not just something that can be a one and done. Motivation isn't something that you do one time and then walk away from, or check it off your to-do list and then leave. Motivation is something that must be renewed every single day. And so the way that I make sure that I am always keeping my motivation in the forefront of my mind, and I'm always high vibe and excited and ready to tackle my goals and live out my vision, is I've created what I call a motivation list, which is what I'm going to share with you today. So when you think of your big dream, your big vision, your big desire that you want to accomplish in your life, I want you to think of 10 reasons why this is important. Now, I'm going to be honest, 10 reasons is going to stretch you far beyond your comfort, right? You'll probably think of 2, maybe 3. And then once you get there, you're going to be like, man, Dr. Nicoya, this is really hard. But that's the purpose, right? I want you to push into that. And then what you'll notice, I actually did this activity with a client this morning, is she couldn't get past 4, I think it was. And then all of a sudden she got to 10, and then all of a sudden she got to 18. And so what you realize in listing your 10 reasons why this dream and desire and aspiration is so important is that there's a lot of reasons why it's important. But more importantly, you notice that your hope and desire and vision and aspiration for your life is so much greater and so much bigger than you. And that alone will start to give you motivation. I remember when I was writing my very first book, I would have to get up really early in the morning because I had a really hectic and busy schedule, but I was just gung-ho about getting this book written. And so every time I'd feel like, man, I really want to hit my snooze button, or I really don't feel like writing it, or God, is that really what you said that I needed to do? Like, why now? I would remember that it was so much bigger than me. And my one reason that just gave me that drive was leaving a legacy for my children, right? And that was such a powerful motivator because I recognized that even in that moment where I wanted to sleep, that leaving that legacy was far greater than any temporary feeling that I felt in the moment. The reality is, some days you're going to feel super pumped up, super excited, super motivated. Some days you're not. But when you have a strong why, and 10 reasons is a strong why, when you have a strong why, it always makes room for the how. Meaning when you're like, I don't know how I'm going to sacrifice this, or how I'm going to show up in this way, or whatever it is, when you remember that why, when you remember that motivating force behind it, then you show up like you've never done before. So what I'm going to challenge you to do is to commit to this. Today, I want you to just pull out a sheet of paper and I want you to write at least 10 reasons why you need to do what you're called to do, why you're making this decision with this goal. And then I want you to hang it in a place that you can see it often. Maybe it's the screensaver on your phone or your computer. Maybe you're hanging it on your computer screen because it's a Post-it. Maybe you're hanging it in your workspace. Maybe you're putting it on a book that you're currently reading. Maybe you're putting it on your nightstand. Whatever it may be, I want you to put it in a place that you're always going to see it. And I want it to be something that you check every single day. Because remember, motivation isn't a one and done. It's not checking it off your to-do list and bouncing. It's something that you got to reference and look at every single day so that you're constantly renewing that motivation so that your actions are constantly aligning with your big picture vision. So what are you waiting for? I challenge you to get started right away. Don't make excuses. Don't let any part of your day get in the way. Just sit down and write it. And what you'll notice when you're done writing it, you'll feel super empowered, super excited, and actually looking forward to showing up for your goals. If you're looking for more tools on your journey of really creating a life that you love, then you're in the right place, my friend. Use the link below and you can get my Live Your Best Life guide totally free, where you're going to learn how to take that big vision, that big dream, that hope and that aspiration you have for your life and really play it out, really live it out with practical tools, strategies, and tips to make it happen. So use the link below to join us, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.